Welcome back
What's up, everybody, and welcome back
to the next episode.
to the next episode of
Don't do that.
Don't Do That
Right here on 16 TV and
and
16
16
TV
TV 2.
2. Oh, you guys.
Mad as Hell Monday. We mad as hell.
And you really should be.
Yeah.
You really, really genuinely should be. As a parent, oh, you abso-fucking-lutely should be. Okay? Abso-fucking-lutely. All right. And before I start, however, uh, it is called ice cream cake through uh through wheat snobs,
Mm.
1.2s, ice cream cake and infused.
Ice cream.
We scream.
It's the ice cream man.
Yes,
It's
yes.
the ice cream man. That's that
Okay.
old school Master P.
Mm.
Uh.
Okay. To
And
you,
this is
boo.
before I smoke.
Right, man. This is and then imagine when he is off camera after we smoke, you guys.
All right. So I believe.
Well, I believe I could fly, but that's another situation.
That's Kells right
All right. No.
All right. So are you first or am I first?
I don't know, but should we talk about the one who pretty much gets to be home, enjoy his family time after he, took his stepsister off the plane, or should we go with yours? Which one do you think is more vibrant?
For Mad as Hell Monday, I would have to go with the young man. Let's go with the young man.
Okay.
Because this is white privilege at its finest,
At
folks.
its absolute fucking finest.
And so many people were crying. Boo hoo, if you're talking about this kid, what about Carmelo Anthony? And to that, hold on. And to that I say a very firm fuck you, because he wasn't allowed to go home with his parents after he killed someone.
And on top of that, I think
So,
the other two kids
fuck
probably,
you.
I think those other kids probably should have took
dickhead.
those happy-go-lucky asses and got somebody to handle it. Instead, they decided to try and handle it on their own instead of to go get an adult.
Yeah.
So sit y'all happy asses the fuck down.
Yeah. So, and by the way, Carmelo is trying. He's on his way to bonding out. But yes, I love when we bring up something heinous that someone white has done, and the first thing they do is, "Oh, Obama, oh, Biden, oh, Carmelo Anthony." Shut the fuck up.
So here we are. How do we get to the point where we don't hold any of these kids accountable for some of the worst crimes that are out there?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, right. He was a whole minor with a gun. But here we are. So we have 16-year-old young man that had taken his stepsister off the plane of life.
Unalive his stepsister on a cruise ship.
Will indeed remain free until his trial in September, even with new evidence out there about the situation.
Did Carmelo go home?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. No. That's what
but
the fuck I thought.
Timothy Hudson is accused of releasing his stepsister of life and aggravated sexual assault inside a Carnival Cruise cabin. Now, prosecutors tried to keep this young man locked up before his trial in September, but the judge, however, thought otherwise and said he can stay out of jail and be on bond before his trial.
Two separate justice systems.
With certain restrictions.
Two separate justice systems.
Okay. And obviously, from the understanding of the young lady's father, he could still go and do as he pleases. So
definitely two different justice
the U.S. Marshal's Office is exploring housing options for him in the Tampa area. Now, here are more details about the case and the timeline of how authorities say the night unfolded before Kepner, the young lady, was found passed. Nope, it's right here. This one's the stronger one. That was just one from earlier today. That's the one that has hash and shit like that on it. So, November 6th of 2025. we have dinner. Prosecutors say Kepner left dinner because she wasn't feeling well, saying that she had mouth pain from her braces and an upset stomach, and returned alone to the cabin 8343. And we blaze. Now at 7:35 p.m., CCTV shows Hudson entering the cabin. Seems a little premeditated to me. Now, 3 minutes later at 7:38 p.m., it shows Kepner entering the same cabin. Prosecutors also say this was when she was never seen leaving again. At 7:51, Kepner's 13-year-old brother briefly entered the cabin and later told investigators he saw Anna alive. At 7:51 p.m. to 10:13 p.m., prosecutors say Kepner and Hudson were alone in the cabin for roughly 3+ hours. At 10:13 p.m., prosecutors say Hudson exits this cabin and looks left and looks right down the hallway. 10:53 p.m., prosecutors say Hudson places the privacy sign on the cabin door and goes back inside. At 11:21 p.m., Kepner's younger brother returns briefly to the cabin. He later tells investigators he did not see her inside. At 12:09 a.m., the brother then returned again. Prosecutors say Hudson blocked him from even entering and told him he was changing and made him wait outside for a couple of minutes. At that same time, the brother did say that the bathroom and closet doors were open and the cabin lights were on. Now, the morning of November 7th of 2026, of 2025, prosecutors say Kepner's phone, which was missing from the cabin, was tracked by ship Wi-Fi and router data, moving along the same path as Hudson. At 9:26 a.m. to 9:55 a.m., prosecutors say CCTV and router data place Hudson and allegedly Kepner's phone near the jogging track, smoking area, and later near the trash bin area where the phone was indeed found. At 11:24 a.m., cabin attendants discovered Kepner's body. Prosecutors say she was wrapped in bedding and partially hidden under a bed with a box of life vests positioned to obscure it. Now, prosecutors state that indeed a rape kit, was done on Kepner's body during an autopsy, and it included swabs that did indeed test positive for male DNA and another for sperm that was left behind. Now, according to the FBI transcript, when it came to lab testing, there was another person that was on there, but they said that he was not the person that they were looking for because he was already a minor witness in this case. Now, another DNA was found and was indeed her stepbrother. Now, federal prosecutors say that Hudson was previously released to a family member while the case was still being handled under the Juvenile Delinquency Act. Okay? But the thing is, after the case was transferred to adult prosecution and federal grand jury returned a superseding indictment, the government asked the court to revisit the release decision. The prosecution tried to argue that the bail standards should be different now because the filings are now different and he is indeed a danger to others and should be held at pretrial detention. Even Tim Jansen, the criminal defense attorney, stated this: "I don't know how they got released into the custody of someone with these charges. I find that alarming." He also stated that if the allegations are proven, it would give prosecutors a compelling public safety argument. And Jansen also states he's a 16-year-old looking at spending the rest of his life in prison. I would argue as a prosecutor, he is both a flight risk and a danger to the community. He's already allegedly sexually assaulted and killed one person. He's demonstrated his ability not to conform, and I believe the court will detain. Now, the prosecutors also argued that the crimes were indeed among the most serious, egregious, and violative crimes one person can inflict upon another. And regardless of what you do to keep him under control, they believe he will indeed strike somehow again. And on top of that, the place in which he resides in, minors also live. There's children there. How do we know he won't take advantage of that and take out one of the children that stay there? Christopher Kepner, father of the slain, states this: "We're just upset that he's still out. We're 6 months in, and he should already have been arrested, and yet he's free to do whatever he wants right now. That's our problem. He's been able to do whatever he wants and go where he wants, but the family's been sitting here unable to do anything. I want to see him in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. He does not need to be free. He does not need to be in the general public, around any kids or women in general."
I agree.
Now, if he is convicted, he will only serve life in prison. And it states in Florida, if you do life, unless stated otherwise, it is the rest of your natural born life. Now, parole, no parole, nothing. Now, again, if clemency is involved, then it could mean something a little different. At the end of the day, somebody like this cannot be reformed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. He cannot. There is no need to keep feeding this monster.
The problem I have with this, and what's really, really scary about this is, I've said this before on the show, and I'm gonna say it one more time. We here in America seem to consistently reward fucked up behavior. Donald Trump is the president. 34 felonies, adjudicated rapists, accusers following him all around, in the Epstein files more times than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible, and he's still our commander-in-chief. Everybody else is like, what? There's no charges being brought up. There's no congressional hearing. There's no nothing.
Well, what saves his ass is the fact that he's a president, and that's what really bothers me. You are allowed certain
way too much fucking leeway.
Yes, a lot too much leeway.
Way too much fucking leeway. Anybody else on the planet had these type of charges against them, they would have the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security up their ass like a old turd. But he is just walking around free as a bird, faking assassination attempts, and
just
all
like
types
this teenager.
of shit.
Like, how are ridiculous. You capable? And you guys talk about you fucking love throwing Carmelo Anthony out there like, oh, ooh, well, he did this. Well, he's still in fucking jail.
Yeah, he ain't walking
what
around
about this?
Playing PlayStation.
Huh? What about this?
He's
what
not
about
endangering other children. This is what that's the problem I have with y'all bringing
he
that shit
sexually assaulted his stepsister. He sexually fucking assaulted his stepsister and then murdered her.
That shit is.
And he's allowed to be out, and you guys think that shit's okay?
It's not even a contest.
No, I don't fucking think so. Fuck out of here.
It's not even.
Go on. It's
now,
these
here's another one. Here's another one. I have been watching this for a minute, and I've really, because you know I'm the comic book guy. You know I'm the comic book guy. I'm the superhero guy. I really was really trying not to call these people out. But with great power comes great responsibility. And so therefore I must call it out, because everybody that watches my shows, everybody that watches Superhero Swag,
and you know he's the responsible one and not.
You see the action figure reviews and all of that. Y'all already know how I get down. So this one's called Representation at the Box Office. Let's talk about it.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. Now, representation in comics. Right now, we have a thing going on. You may have seen one of the clips where I'm talking about the DC Blackout. All right. It has been over 1,200 days since DC Comics had a title led by a black character in the main continuity. We're not talking about elsewhere. We're not talking about Absolute Green Lantern. I'm talking about the black characters that are in the same continuity as Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, that. Okay? We're tired of this shit.
You mean like where's Blue Marvel's movie, not series?
Where's Blue Marvel's movie? Where's Blue Marvel's series in Marvel Comics? Okay? Non-existent. He's in the Ultimates. They have the same fucking argument that they have with Superman. He's so powerful, we don't know what to do with him. Horse shit.
But yeah, you still made a
Horse
movie
shit.
of Superman though, right?
Horse shit.
Okay, there's still movies out there.
So what I'm saying with the DC Blackout, DC So White, what I'm saying with that is characters like John Stewart, Static Shock, Mr. Terrific. When the Superman movie dropped, they had a Mr. Terrific miniseries real quick just to get you reacquainted with that character because they never use him. Let's go off into another one. I'm gonna go off into a rant real quick and I'm gonna see if y'all can catch up. Do you remember Black Lightning? You do, right? You remember the Black Lightning show. Do you remember how good that fucking show was?
Loved it.
What happened to it?
Got canceled.
Why?
Oh, I can't fucking remember. Oh, I can't
there's
remember.
There's no real definitive answer other than they just stopped fucking making the show.
And they cannot use the excuse that the young lady left. They can't.
There is no excuse.
And I don't want to hear
right
that
now.
As an
Tobias Whale, the guy that played Tobias Whale, right now is in the MCU as Tombstone. This is talent that is recognized. Okay, this is talent that has been recognized, and boom, now he's in the MCU.
Thank God, where he belongs.
Cress Williams did a fantastic job as Black Lightning, and that show, the vibe and everything, beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. Why was it canceled? The same issue we have with Blue Marvel not having his own series and being one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. Let's go further. Blade. I'll just pause on that. You trying to tell me that y'all couldn't find someone to get a proper script for Blade? Blade is literally the character that birthed the MCU. He birthed the MCU. If it wasn't for Wesley Snipes and Blade, there would be no Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'll stand and die on that fucking hill. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go further. Captain America, Brand New World. Why the fuck did they put Red Hulk out in front like Red Hulk was the star? Why did it go through so many fucking reshoots? Why couldn't they keep the Serpent Society? Why did they try and make Harrison Ford's old ass and the Red Hulk the star of the show? And for all you nerd-zoic, racist motherfuckers that I would kick in they fucking balls and punch in your goddamn nose in person because you got Twitter fingers on fucking line, let me tell you, stop it. Oh, well, there's already Steve Rogers. Why do they have Sam Wilson? It's because you dumb motherfucker, they did it in the comics. They did it in the comics.
I was about to ask, did they read the
comics? It happened in the comics.
It's in, like...
Yeah, it did. It did. Look it up.
You guys are stupid and you're making
Look it up. But Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion spanned over many comic books. And what did they do? Because they have him under contract and because Sam is about his money, they utilized Sam. But it was a fucking farce. It was the most thrown together piece of trash you ever want to see. Why do y'all not give the proper due to the black characters? Let's go again. Armor Wars. Armor Wars was supposed to happen.
Right.
Don Cheadle is a fantastic fucking actor. What happened? See where I'm going? See where I'm going? Okay. Wonder Man. Wonder Man's getting a second season. Yeah, that's great. But guess what? It's on Disney Plus. What about the mainstream? What about the big screen?
Right.
What about that?
That's my main question. Why doesn't he have a movie? And like
these characters are important, but they're only important enough to get representation on the big screen if they're the color of my wife. Want to go again? Ironheart. Right after
Right.
Wakanda Forever, they were hot on the heels of Wakanda Forever. Introduced Dominique Thorne in Wakanda Forever. No movie, straight to Disney Plus. Where I first heard needle dick motherfuckers like Nerd Zoic and his little crew of cronies sitting in their mama's basement talking shit, being racist. Where I heard them refer to Ironheart's AI as Joanna Man. No, it's called Joanna Father. Because you're not putting no spec on their name, Marvel. You're not putting no spec on their name. Straight to Disney Plus, huh? No spec. No spec on their name. Let's go again. Ironheart, Armor Wars, Wonder Man, Secret Invasion. No, I'm done actually. I'm done actually. Representation is a huge thing. There are more than just white people on the planet. Miss Marvel, that's what it was. Miss Marvel. Yeah, Miss Marvel was a good series too. And it introduces people to other cultures. Great series if you sit down and watch it.
She did a
Iman
fantastic.
Vellani did a wonderful
You
job.
can tell she adores that character.
Just like Tom Holland grew up wanting to be Spider-Man and he is now.
Fantastic.
Same thing with Iman Vellani.
Mm-hmm.
And you would never know it because the representation isn't there. They're not pushing characters of color, black, brown. What? Oh, here we go. Wait, hold up. Here's another one. Shang-Chi. Where's Shang-Chi too? What happened? Crouching Tiger, Hidden fucking Dragon. What the fuck happened? Do you see where I'm going with this? Where's the representation?
Nowhere.
Oh, Steve Rogers is right there. Tony Stark is right there. Now Doctor Doom is right there. But what about Sam Wilson? What about Monica Rambeau? What about Luke Cage? What about James Rhodey Rhodes? War Machine. Mantles get passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the representation? Drop down in the comments and tell me what's going on.
So, as you know, there's been the ongoing Ebola crisis. Now, the High Court judge from Kenya, Patricia Nyandi, temporarily did suspend a plan the U.S. had to open a 50-bed Ebola quarantine at the Laikipia Air Base.
Yep.
After a Katiba Institute petition. What the fuck did I just do? Sorry, guys. Hold on.
She kicked herself off.
I kicked my ass up off the screen that I was using. There we go.
Oh.
All right. Boom. Let's just keep my finger up. All right. Institute. Now, after a Katiba Institute petition barring the admission or transfer of anyone exposed or infected under arrangement and listing the case for June 2nd. Now, when we go deeper, the constitutional challenge is this. The Katiba Institute, which is a Kenyan civil society group, had filed a petition on May 28th, 2026, arguing that the plan the U.S. had for the Ebola facility violates constitutional rights to life. Now, to life, health, public participation, and parliamentary oversight. This prompted the courts to stop the opening of the facility. Now, Kenya's main medical union issued a 48-hour strike notice. This is calling the U.S. plan a dumping ground and argued Kenya should not host exposed individuals if the U.S. refuses them on its soil. This, of course, should have signaled significant local resistance to the U.S. quarantine facility. Now, Donald Dumpster Fire's administration stated it cannot and will not allow Ebola cases into the country. They're U.S. citizens, asswipe. What makes you think that they should have to keep them? They don't know where it came from, and they don't know if it came from there. So, anyways, uh, into the country. So, what they have done in reaction to what the U.S. is doing is they are saying, we are not going to allow you to be here, and we treat you, and you don't even want us to want to help us. Because did you guys not stop aid over there? Right? Medical aid over. You guys stop. And you also try to keep everybody from communicating about this stuff, right? The who or okay, all right. I covered something like that earlier. Um, Now, he can. How can one be mad at that? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Uh, Now, however, the U.S. government eventually announced its intention to commit 13.5 million towards Kenya's Ebola preparedness efforts. This was stated by Marco Rubio, though we can't. Why are we even trusted, anyways? We're we don't. Where are we getting this money from? I'm just really curious. Like, I mean, and they know this. Where is this money coming from? Now, this pledge was made amid the ongoing debate over the U.S. quarantine facility. Now, the timeline goes as follows. May 15, 2026, Dominican Republic of Congo, Ebola outbreak declared. Democratic Republic of Congo reported more than 1,000 suspected cases and hundreds of deaths. It was described as having spread undetected for weeks and lacking an approved vaccine or specific treatment. It would have been really nice if they would have had the funding to begin with, right? Or the fucking communication with people would have been fucking great. May 28th, 2026, Kenyan illegal challenge filed. The Institute filed an urgent petition challenging plans to establish a quarantine facility for Americans. This was arguing the proposal raised grave constitutional and public safety concerns. The Kenya Medical Practitioners Union issued a 40-hour ultimate demanding the closure of threatening industrial action. And they are basically saying, you all can go to hell. Why should they? Why should they keep them here? They're they're not their people. They shouldn't help them. That's it.
I agree.
That's it.
I got one last thing.
Nope, that's fine. Go ahead. I understand.
Okay, so real quick, the owner of Amazon. This you're right. This is hilarious. That's why I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I'm gonna admit to y'all something. Y'all are my family now. Y'all have been here, and we appreciate the subscriptions and the engagement. So I'm gonna tell you this: Amazon is one of my guilty pleasures. It is, but this is the silliest shit I've ever heard in my life. So, Blue Origin, owned by Amazon's founder Jeff Bezos, experienced what the company has called an anomaly. The 29-story rocket was running tests on its engines when it exploded at Cape Canaveral in Florida. All personnel were reported to be safe and accounted for. The Blue Origin has become one of the most high-profile names in the commercial space race. They are also currently a part of NASA's plans to return to the moon. So of course everybody is watching them very carefully after this humongous, spectacular Independence Day type fucking explosion, bro. Mm-hmm. Look it up. It is, my God. A couple days ago though. Mm-hmm. Investigators will be looking to determine the future impact this could have on other planned missions. And they the Blue Origin, not the Blue Origin, but Blue Origin, owned by Jeff Bezos, is in competition in the space race with Elon Musk, or I was about to call him Elon Musk because I always fuck with his name. All right, but Elon Musk.
You can't fucking help yourself.
I can't even help myself. But yeah, his space thing or whatever is called X, like Twitter is now.
Why?
Okay. And so they're in competition. So two rich motherfuckers is trying to make it to the moon. And my son was telling me they are trying to colonize the moon by 2030. I'm gonna say
colonize,
this.
Right?
I'm gonna say this.
Did you
Y'all
guys
trying to
find
put
life on the moon?
houses and shit on the moon.
Did they find life on the moon?
I don't know what the fuck.
Because they must
I'm
be. There's only one way to colonize
can
something.
Can I say this? No, they want to put some shit up there and have and have people move up there on the moon. I want to say this. Can y'all fix what's going on this planet before we move to another goddamn planet? We have a 1-2% of the entire fucking world that could heal the world. And instead of them spending their money on Earth, we want to go to outer space.
Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed yet?
Here?
Are you guys fucking embarrassed yet?
Are we good here yet?
That was embarrassing too, to take my hat off. That was hat hair.
Okay, so I just wanted to leave y'all with that millionaires are doing millionaire shit, and instead of contributing to the good shit, they are playing. Yeah, they're playing Star Wars. So, all right. So there you go.
So that makes me. I do got one question then, because when we landed on the moon the first time, right? What year was that again? Remind me. Right, that was like fucking forever, right? 60s. Back when technology was shit.
But that explosion, though.
But no, that. How can you not recreate that same thing? Kind of makes me question. Did we ever really go to space?
They lie about everything, so like people in our comments be saying, I need to see the proof.
You guys are really making me want to literally see this fucking proof.
Oh yeah, take me, a regular person, to Area 51 and show me the proof.
No, apparently they already opened Area 51 already for the public.
That wasn't the real
area. Okay, but it really makes you question: did they really land on the moon? Smartest people alive, right? Can't even fucking figure this shit out.
These are the people that I'd be saying.
I was about to shut it off right there because you guys make my fucking head hurt.
These are the people that they doubt stuff that they can't see, but they believe that a man gathered 2 of every animal and put them on a boat during the flood. They believe that though. But y'all don't believe that Trump did with what he's being accused of though. You need to see that though. I'm done with y'all, man.
They want to see that?
In order for them to believe it, they have to see it with their own peepers.
Jeepers, creepers.
Where'd you get those eyes? All right, y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe, get notified.
For each and every time we drop new content. And let's hope that we don't have to come across any content like that stupid shit again. But I'm pretty sure we will.
Next time.
Peace. Mm-mm-mm.